with China. A gun battle has erupted between security forces and armed ethnic groups in the town of Muse. It's the latest clash between the army and ethnic groups in border regions over the east. Fighters have claimed to have seized a police post in the town of Mumbai. They say they killed 13 security forces. Now, the UN Security Council has called for full adherence to the ceasefire between Israel and the Palestinians as the truce holds for a third day. In its first statement since the violence erupted, the Council also stressed the need for immediate humanitarian assistance to the Palestinian population in Gaza. Authorities have started distributing tents and mattresses to residents of Gaza. Convoys of lorries are also bringing much-needed medicine, food and fuel after Israel opened a border crossing. In Tel Aviv, Israelis have rallied in support of the ceasefire. They are also calling for an end to violence between Israeli Arabs and Jews that spiked after the conflict intensified. Still to come, Melbourne is coming back to life after months of virus curbs, but it's far from business as usual.
Should you use your CPF for property investment? Come to the Singapore Property Show 2021 to learn more from leading property market experts in 40 informative webinars. Our top flight speakers will be covering a wide range of topics to help you make a most informed decision. How do you make the most of your CPF for property investment? Are ECs still the golden goose? Is owning multiple properties only for the wealthy? What kind of property is in demand by district? Get these answers and more. Plus, stand to win $8,000 worth of cash prizes. Join us at our webinars this weekend on 29th and 30th May for essential property investment advice. What are you waiting for? Visit sps2021.99.co to register now. The Singapore Property Show 2021 is proudly organised by MediaCorp and our esteemed partners.
Authorities have been trying to persuade a reluctant population into taking the COVID-19 vaccine. The take-up rate has been low, and as the pandemic continues to keep normal life from resuming in the city, some businesses not only want people to just go get a jab, they also want more help from the government. That story on your next Asia First.
From the top stories in Asia.
A quicker, portable way of testing for COVID-19 in just 5 minutes.
To breaking news in the US and Europe.
US President-elect Joe Biden is set to formally introduce his top economic team.
With an eye on markets opening across the world.
Wall Street's major indices all closed the month with double-digit percentage gains.
It's the one bulletin that offers you a global perspective. World Tonight, daily, on CMA.
It's a human catastrophe of epic proportions. Thousands are dying every day in India as it battles the raging coronavirus crisis.
हमारे सामने उन्होंने दम तोड़ा, हम कुछ नहीं कर पाए. मेरी वाइफ चली गई, मेरे दोनों ब्रदर-इन-लॉ गए और मदर-इन-लॉ एक्सपायर्ड हो गई.
Has India lost control of the pandemic?
If you step out right now, you step out to die.
India's COVID catastrophe. Insight, Thursday on CNA.
The head of the U.S. National Infectious Diseases Agency says he's concerned with Japan's low vaccination levels as the Olympics draws close. It's just 2 months before the competition starts, and less than 2% of Japanese are fully vaccinated.
If you have such a low level of vaccination, of course there's a concern. That's up to the Japanese authorities, what they're going to do in their country during the Olympic season. So I would hope that more people get vaccinated because that low percent is really concerning.
The International Olympic Committee insists the Games will be safe. It plans to go ahead even if Tokyo and other parts of Japan are under a COVID-19 state of emergency. Australia's most locked-down city during the pandemic is slowly coming back to life after nearly a year of restrictions, but it could take Melbourne years to recover. Brianna Piazza reports.
Melbourne's Chinatown is finally coming back to life. Its iconic street market has only just reopened after several months of on and off lockdowns.
So we're definitely happy to see all the people coming around, come out, have fun, enjoy the freedom that we haven't had the last 6 months.
With more than 5,000 visitors a night, stallholders hope the event will be a recipe for success. For Erica Chu, it's a perfect opportunity to expand her suburban bubble tea cafe. A sign of hope after an unpredictable year in business. The city has eliminated community transmission of COVID-19 for now. But restrictions on movement have come at a heavy cost to thousands of businesses. Melbourne Chinatown Precinct Association President Danny Doon estimates activity in Chinatown is still down 40% compared to before the pandemic.
We lack of tourists, we lack of students, they're not coming back. Yet, hopefully, that will open up the border very soon, so we get more tourists come. Then the business back to normal.
But returning to pre-pandemic times is a distant dream for many retailers. Katerina DeBice has spent 15 years building up clients at her hair salon in one of Melbourne's prime locations.
Love what I do. Our CBD was our flagship store, our busiest salon. The walls used to bend, and so it was always buzz. People were in and out.
But now it's her quietest shop. On some days, she has just 1 or 2 customers. It's left her with no choice but to cut her opening hours to 4 days a week. Before the pandemic, 850,000 people would visit the city centre daily. But foot traffic is now less than half as people avoid coming into the city. 20% of shops in Melbourne's city centre have already closed permanently in the past year or are yet to reopen. Australia's economy is showing signs of growth, but the recovery is uneven. Travel retailers and businesses in city centres are among the hardest hit. The country is also bracing for unemployment to hit 7% this month, now that the federal government has wound back financial support for businesses. The road to recovery is made even more difficult, with potential customers still working from home and no longer needing to shop in the city. Research shows most office workers want it to stay that way. A shift that could transform the way people do business in cities like Melbourne permanently. Brianna Piazza, CNA, Melbourne.
And that is Asia Tonight. Your headlines anytime at cna.asia, Facebook, YouTube and Twitter. Bye-bye.
Look forward to brighter skies. The weather, sponsored by Qatar Airways.
The weather, sponsored by Qatar Airways.
Breaking news.
Chanting for Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha to step down.
We will be seeing sporadic protests flare up from time and time again.
Key developments.
37th ASEAN Summit.
Live events. analysis and perspectives.
We will really be seeing vaccines.